Backstage on SmackDown, Randy Orton attacked Alberto Del Rio in the food catering area. Orton used many different weapons to attack, including a pot of steaming hot coffee, which hit Del Rio's ring announcer, Ricardo Rodriguez. Randy was not done there. He then poured a big pan of chili all over Ricardo. After the fight ended, Matt Striker tried to interview Randy Orton, but Randy was not in the mood to be interviewed, so he slammed Matt Striker's face into a cake. During a segment on Raw, Kane was forced to work at a food concession stand as he served popcorn, nachos, drinks, and hot dogs to customers. And one of his customers just happened to be Ryback, who Kane was feuding with at the time. Kane threw a hot dog at Ryback, which angered him, and he pushed the concession counter into Kane, which sent Kane crashing into the table behind him. Ryback squirted mustard all over Kane, as Kane tried to fight back by throwing a bucket of popcorn at Ryback. The New Day had a birthday cake at ringside during a match with the Social Outcasts on Raw. After the match, the New Day took the cake and smashed it into Heath Slater. The New Day hit him so hard with the cake that they knocked him out. During a 4th of July celebration on Raw, a fight broke out with the WWE roster. It started when The Miz and Maurice had food thrown at them, and then the food fight started. The food fight went on for several minutes. It was the biggest WWE food fight of all time, and fans still talk about it to this day. After the food fight ended, Kevin Owens was left all alone until he was hit in the face with a pie. John Cena was wrestling Kane, Randy Orton, and Seth Rollins in a handicap match on Raw. During the match, Dean Ambrose came out to the ring with a hot dog cart. Dean Ambrose then pulled out ketchup and mustard bottles out of a holster and squirted the ketchup and mustard all over Kane and Randy Orton. Orton and Kane were completely covered in mustard and ketchup. Later on, Dean Ambrose began to throw sauerkraut and hot dog buns at Seth Rollins. Dolph Ziggler faced The Miz in a Halloween street fight, where the ring was surrounded by Halloween-themed items, including a metal tub filled with apples and water, which was used by Dolph Ziggler as he forced The Miz to bob for apples. Ziggler then grabbed a pumpkin and stuck it on The Miz's head, and super kicked him with it on, as the pumpkin crumpled to pieces. On an episode of Raw, Rusev and Lana held a post-wedding celebration, but was interrupted by Roman Reigns, who started beating up Rusev. And as he beat him up, he pushed him into Lana, which sent her flying into the wedding cake. Lana was covered in wedding cake and began screaming that her wedding celebration was ruined by Roman Reigns. On an episode of Raw a few years ago, Kevin Owens defeated Dolph Ziggler, and after the match, Dean Ambrose came out to the ring with a drink and a bucket of popcorn. Kevin Owens began to scream at Ambrose for coming down to the ring. Dean Ambrose then threw the popcorn and drink in Kevin Owens' face. The Bella Twins, The Miz and John Morrison, were having a Valentine's Day dinner date on SmackDown. The Miz and Morrison were feuding at the time with Carlito and Primo Colón, and the Colóns disguised themselves as cooks from the restaurant. The Colóns went to the Bellas, Miz, and Morrison's table and tried to give them free pies, but Miz and Morrison recognized them and took their disguises off. The Colóns then tried to throw the pies at Miz and Morrison, but the pies hit the Bella Twins instead. Stephanie McMahon was set to face Vicky Guerrero in a chocolate pudding match on Raw, but Stephanie had other plans. If Vicky went into the pool of chocolate pudding, she would be fired. Stephanie brought out Alicia Fox, Rosa Mendez, and Layla to help get Vicky into the pool of pudding. Vicky was able to put all 3 women into the pool of chocolate pudding. Stephanie McMahon took matters into her own hands and threw Vicky Guerrero into the chocolate pudding, and Vicky was fired. But Vicky got her revenge when she threw Stephanie into the pool, and Stephanie was completely covered with chocolate pudding, and it took several minutes to get her out of the pool.